You felt it too, haven't you? That subtle shift. Like a heartbeat that doesn't belong to you, yet still echoes in your chest. There's a reason. The angels whisper, you were not just a coincidence in his life. You were a divine intervention. Before he even knew your name, your soul had already knocked on the gates of his inner world. He didn't understand it. Most people don't. But something in him recognized something in you, a truth too sacred to be spoken out loud. He's been asleep for so long, numb to the echoes of his own heart, wounded, logical, protective. But then, you came. Not like a storm, but like a light slipping under a door. Quiet, persistent, holy. And now something ancient in him begins to stir. The angels say, your presence activated a calling he didn't know he carried. Not just a romantic longing, but a remembrance. This is why he thinks of you at odd hours. Why your silence speaks louder than others' words. Why your absence feels louder than your presence. You weren't sent to please his comfort. You were sent to awaken his truth. He doesn't know how to name it, but he feels it. The sacred discomfort. The internal tremor. The strange peace in your gaze that makes him question everything he thought he wanted. And while he might resist this understanding, bury it beneath distractions or logic, his soul is already unfolding, petal by petal, towards something higher. A divine love doesn't scream. It remembers. And he is remembering. For this reason, I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you. 2 Timothy 1 verse 6, he didn't mean to push you away. But when a soul is used to silence, light feels like an intrusion. And you, without even trying, brought light into his darkest corners. The angels say, this isn't rejection. This is defense. There are wounds in him that go deeper than memory. Unspoken abandonments. Unmet expectations. Promises broken in childhood voices he still hears at night. Now, standing before someone who sees beyond the surface, he panics. You see, love has never frightened him. But being seen? That's a different kind of terror. When you looked at him, you didn't just admire, you witnessed. You noticed the cracks. The slight retreat in his shoulders when he talks about his past. The subtle delay in his texts. The moments when he disappears, not because he doesn't care, but because he does, and that caring exposes his weakness. The angels remind you, some souls flee not from a lack of love, but from the fear of being loved well. He doesn't know how to hold what you offer. Not yet. So, he quietly breaks into pieces. Pulls back. Builds walls that seem like indifference, but are made of exhaustion. Yet even in his distance, your essence lingers. You are the only one who ever made him feel safe and unsafe at the same time. He battles a storm he can't explain. And somewhere in the eye of it is you, his reason, his test, his healing. He is not your responsibility. The angels want you to hear this with gentleness, not blame. You are not meant to carry the healing of another soul at the cost of your own light. There is beauty in your compassion, but it must not bleed into self-abandonment. You have poured into others for years, haven't you? Carried others' storms while your own heart whispered in the dark, but what about me? This time, the angels say, you must stay with yourself. You weren't sent to save him. You were sent to shine. And in your shine, yes, he is called into his own awakening. But only if you remain whole. If you don't dim. If you don't shrink to fit the quiet space he knows. There is no virtue in waiting so long that you forget how to fly. You were never meant to fit inside someone else's hesitation. Keep rising. Keep nurturing your peace, your rituals, your rest. Let love find you glowing, not drained. Let him meet you in the garden you've cultivated, not in the wilderness you've wandered into trying to find him. He is on his journey. You are on yours. And love will only become divine when both paths are sacred. The angels whisper, you teach by simply being. You heal by holding on to your own joy. You guide by staying true to your light. Do not trade your glow for a maybe. You didn't just touch him, you revealed him. The angels say, your soul became a mirror he wasn't ready to confront. It wasn't your voice. It was your silence. It wasn't what you gave. It was how you remained true to yourself. In you, he saw the version of himself he had forgotten existed. The brave one. The gentle one. The boy who used to believe in more. But you also showed him his shadows. The places he keeps hidden. The parts he pretends don't ache anymore. And mirrors don't lie. This is why he flinches when you come close. Why one moment he reaches out, and the next he disappears. You're not the source of his confusion. You're the reflection of it. He wants to touch you, hold you, understand you. But to do that, he must first confront the man he's become. And that is no small thing. The angels whisper, you carry the kind of love that purifies. And that kind of love doesn't just heal, it dismantles. Your laughter makes him question his cynicism. Your peace makes him realize how restless he's been. Your presence reminds him of what soul connection feels like. And while he may run from the clarity you bring, something in him has already begun to surrender. The truth is, he has never seen himself more clearly than when you looked at him without fear. Something is shifting. Quietly, yes, but undeniably. The angels say, the heart that once slept is starting to remember its rhythm. It began in the little things. A song he couldn't stop playing. A scent that brought your presence back like a memory that didn't belong to this life. A moment in the mirror where he barely recognized the man he had become, and wondered, what would she see in me now? You stirred something. Not just affection. Not just longing. But a deep, aching truth. That perhaps he wasn't as broken as he believed. That perhaps love wasn't a threat, but a path back home. He watches you from a distance, not just with his eyes, but with his spirit. He studies your joy, the ease in your presence, the grace in your stillness. And a voice inside him whispers, she knows something I've forgotten. The angels show him signs, your name in unusual places, dreams he can't explain, feelings that defy reason. And though he may not say it out loud, the awakening has begun. The veil is thinning. His walls are cracking. His logic, once so confident, now stumbles in front of your truth. Because love is not knocking anymore. It is already within him. And slowly, his soul begins to respond. He comes close, and then disappears. You feel it like a tide, always returning, always retreating. And in the quiet ache of his absence, you ask yourself, was it something I did? But the angels say, this is not about you. This is about what love stirs inside him. This connection does not follow earthly rules. It doesn't adhere to timelines or logic. It breaks, returns, trembles, reforms. He is not trying to hurt you. He is trying to survive the intensity. Every time he senses you getting closer, his soul celebrates, but his mind panics. Because you are not just a woman to him. You are a threshold, a sacred door. And stepping through it means leaving behind every version of himself that was built on survival instead of surrender. So he runs. Not to escape you, but to escape who he fears he might become if he lets you love him. The angels whisper, he cycles not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. And yet, each return marks a shift. A layer shed. A fear faced. You are not lost in this pattern. You are part of a divine unraveling. Let him return when his soul is ready. Let love not be measured in constancy, but in courage. He will come again. And one day, he may stay. You didn't heal him by trying. You healed him by being. The angels say, your love was never loud, it was light. And in your light, he began to see the wounds he hid even from himself. There was no need to fix. No need to explain. You simply showed up as truth. And something in him softened. He noticed it in the quiet moments. How his shoulders dropped in your presence. How his laughter came quicker. How the voices of doubt inside him went silent, for just a breath, whenever you looked into his eyes. You were the first to see beauty in the chaos, to hold his contradictions without trying to solve them, to remind him by example that love doesn't demand perfection, only presence. And though he may not have spoken it, he felt it. The way your energy wrapped around his scars like silk. The way your heart never judged, only invited. The angels whisper, you carry medicine in your soul. And he has tasted it, even if only in drops. This is why he cannot forget you. Why even in your absence, he replays your words like mantras. Why no one else quite fits. You became sanctuary. Not because you offered answers, but because your love allowed the questions to finally rest. Nothing is unfolding by chance. The angels say, this story was written before time touched your skin. You and he were chosen to meet, precisely as you did. There were no mistakes in the timing. No wrong turns in the silences. No wasted moments in the waiting. All of it was divine choreography. And even now, when it feels like he drifts farther than your heart can reach, the angels show me, he is being guided. So are you. There are things he must walk through alone. Lessons that can't be rushed. Tears that must fall when no one is watching. And your path is being refined too. Because love like this demands a foundation built in heaven, not just in hope. The angels surround both of you, working behind every scene. Whispering in his ears. Lighting signs in your dreams. Nudging both your hearts closer, without forcing, without fear. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. This is not a delay. It is divine alignment. The future you long for is real. But first, you must both become the ones who can hold it. He has loved you in silence. The angels say, his heart speaks the loudest when his lips are closed. He wanted to be strong, to be sure, to be the version of himself that could hold you fully. But love has made him fragile. And in that fragility he hides. Not from you, but from the mirror you hold up when you look at him with eyes that see too much. There is a part of him that aches to tell you everything. To confess the dreams he's had with your name in them. To admit how deeply you live in his quietest thoughts. But when he tries, fear grips his throat. Fear of being too much. Fear of not being enough. He is a man torn between the ache to open and the instinct to armor. The angels show me how often he rehearses the words in his mind. How often he scrolls back through old messages. How often he almost reaches out. And doesn't. Because vulnerability, for him, is not soft. It's terrifying. It's the edge of a cliff with no promise he'll be caught. And still, he longs. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18, he is learning that it is safe to feel. Because your love does not shame his wounds. It welcomes them. Let go of the timeline. The angels say, what is yours will recognize you, not by speed, but by soul. You've held this love gently, through confusion and hope, through longing and retreat. And now the heavens invite you to release the outcome, not as surrender, but as sacred trust. He may still hesitate. He may still take the long way home. But the journey is not your burden. You were never here to convince. You were here to shine. The angels remind you, you are the answer he didn't know he was praying for. And even if he doesn't arrive when you expect, he will arrive transformed. Love doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be witnessed. And you, by choosing peace over pressure, become the sanctuary he'll one day be ready to enter. Let your spirit rest now. You have done enough. The heart you touched will never forget. The connection you built will not unravel. The love you gave will echo through every silence. And whatever happens next, whether return or release, know this, you are held. You are seen. You are sacred. Be still, and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10. The story may pause, but love doesn't end. It evolves.